commencing Operation Gravitation. As we dive into today's comics, we will notice a theme. When pushed comes to shove, the population that has been suppressed will be the ones that'll start the revolution, and it is up to those that stand by to decide if it will be for the benefit of the people or the downfall of its civilization. Now, will our host be able to understand these comics, or will their little brain modules burn out before this realization? Anyway, let us tune in to the show.
Hello and welcome to the podcast where we are currently recapping the events of Transformers IDW 2019 continuity. I'm Onyx Prime with my two co-hosts here.
Hi, I'm Killobyte.
And I'm Clickbait.
Moving on with our comic discussion for today's episode takes us to IDW Transformers issues 13 through 18. And as always, spoiler warning. So if you haven't read it already, we highly recommend you go back, read the comics, then come listen to the podcast. Also, we have a goal to reach 500 subscribers. We'll be holding a brand new kind of giveaway we've never done before, so click that subscribe button. Tell your friends it's a good time. Now, onwards with the podcast. Clickbait, do you mind giving us the fun facts and trivia about the comics we'll be discussing in today's episode?
I never mind giving trivia out. So let's dive into it.
Let's
start with our fast and fun facts. Number of comics we'll be going over today is 6. Issue 13 was released October 16th, 2019, and issue 18 on March 11th of 2020. Our writer for these issues is Brian Reckley, and our artists are going to be Angel Hernandez, Alex Milne, Anna Malkova, Beth McGuire-Smith, Meow, with colors by Joanna LaFuente, Josh Perez, Josh Burcham, and John Paul Bovey. And now on to one of my personal favorites, trivia. We're going to start off with in issue 13, page 5, panel 1. One of the robots helping Ratchet appears to be based on Wall-E from the 2008 film Wall-E. I never would have guessed that. In issue 14, Javelin makes her return. She first appeared in the 2005 IDW continuity during the More Than Meets the Eye series. In this 2019 continuity, her weapon of choice is a sniper rifle, which is based off the alternate modes of Voss of the Decepticon Justice Division of the same 2005 continuity. I wonder if this could be any foreshadowing. Maybe we'll see the DJD, which would be super exciting because I love the DJD.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
I absolutely love DJD. I mean, I would never want to be on the list.
DJD.
but they're cool to see from a distance in concept. Issue 17, Lightbright dances along to a song about Velocitron, a colony planet that originated in the Transformers Cybertron franchise and went on to feature in the Aligned Continuity family, the original IDW continuity, and the Cyberverse cartoon. She mentions the tune as a rich power chord beat, referencing the one-off original character from the 2015 Ask Vector Prime Facebook column. I loved that they brought music into this. It was so cool. I love that that's a whole concept.
It's always cool. They had it in the previous continuity. It's pretty fun. Like, they give you just enough that you want more, which is fantastic. Because I'm like, okay, waiting for the next lyrics, and she turns it off. I'm like, no.
I love seeing the realistic cultural aspects. Like, it's really fun to just flesh out that world and kind of allow you to make relationships with the characters better. It's super cool. Yes. And on to our last trivia fact of the night. In issue 18 on page 19, the crew member who greets Greenlight and Gage is wearing a necklace that looks all too familiar to the one Galvatron wore during the Transformers the movie. Matrix and Chain sipping on a light drink.
Insert meme here.
Turtleneck and chain,
sipping on a light beer.
Insert meme here. I was so confused reading that I was like, what?
Time for some summaries.
Did I say I was done yet?
Yes, you said you were done.
Oh, I didn't, but I am done.
Tensions
so
are rising.
Like in the comic. Dark secrets and darker deeds come to light as Sentinel Prime and his allies push back against the Rise. As always, this information has been taken from the wiki. And as always, we would like to give a special shout out to all of our patrons. Without you, we wouldn't be able to continue the podcast. Thank you so much for the support.
Thank you so much. Each and every one of you deserve a Rod Star.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Yes.
All right.
They're
Shall
just
we
trying
get
to
started?
assassinate me.
That drink must have been too much.
That's
Clickbait,
it.
you okay?
I'm not allowed to drink while recording. I will be. Just
Never.
you hear
I'll
a
tell-
weird
I'll
pause
tell
it's because
Swerve.
I'm hacking off mic.
No more drinks for you. I mean,
Yeah.
last time you were wearing your legs on backwards, but you know.
I'm fine when it has high grade in it. I just can't drink this weak stuff. It just goes down the wrong way.
Well, the synthetics. Anyway, starting off with the Ascenticons branding punch onto Bumblebee. Springer and Sideswipe find some troublemakers and end up in trouble themselves. How are we feeling
Anybody
at this
surprised?
moment?
Nobody's surprised.
It does look weird. It feels weird because we know why Bumblebee is with the Ascenticons, but it feels so weird seeing him with the Decepticon badge.
Yeah. I mean, kudos to him. He's really committing to this all the way for Orion. He's 110% going mile. He's in it for Rebel. He really wants to find out what's going on, and I commend him for that.
Mm-hmm.
I love the tattoo gun.
Yes.
Or the badge
Yeah,
gun. I
that's
thought
great.
That was cool. But I'm more concerned on Alita wearing the badge. But I do want to
Yeah.
say Alita's design, 100 out of 100. I love it. It's great.
Top
Yeah,
choice.
it is
top
great.
choice. So, flipping to Springer and Sideswipe, reinforcements arrive on the scene and things really heat up. Any favorite scenes or moments from this interaction? Because I really enjoyed Soundwave showing up towards the end and quote unquote take control of the situation, and then Starscream just shows up to observe.
Starscream does what Starscream does.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like not even surprised at that point. So this is going to bring me to one of my top quotes of the night, and if you're following along in the volume, it's going to be on page 147. I believe this is in issue 13 still. And it's going to be a panel of Sideswipe and Springer, and it's after Springer has engaged them, after Sideswipe told him not to go solo. And Sideswipe's words are, "Told you not to go solo, I told you." And then Springer says, "A total convert to the wisdom of that idea. Call in everyone." And I thought that was hilarious. And I think I had one earlier than that. Oh yeah, it's when Springer takes off and leaves Sideswipe in the dust, and Sideswipe calls him a triple changing cheat of a flyby rustbot. I thought that was great.
What a mouthful.
I know. It was a fabulous insult though. Like I'm gonna have to add that one to my repertoire.
It's great. I love all the interactions we've been getting with all the bots in these
They've been
issues.
pretty great.
They're amazing.
But yeah. I love the way they're able to convey such emotion on the bots, like Soundwave and Six Shot, who have those masks and visors or combo, and they're still able to convey like the anger and the disdain and the shock without making the expression like comical. It still carries the weight of the actual emotion they're supposed to be displaying. I love that Soundwave is just able to look at somebody and just look absolutely ticked. It's fabulous. I love it.
There's even some scenes that portray emotion without their faces on screen. Like this is jumping ahead, but there's a part where Alita 1 is interacting with Megatron and you can only see his bottom half. You see his like knuckles clench as he's getting more and more frustrated in the panels, and I think that's fabulous.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
that's
it's great.
props to the artists, man. They really knock it out of the park
Always.
when they do that.
Anyway, rewinding us back with the explosive conclusion to the Rise standoff against the Autobots. Sentinel Prime gives a big speech about the rise of the deception of the truth. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. And then I really enjoyed the dynamic we see between Megatron and Jahaxis while watching the speech on TV, because it's not something we see much of. We also get like a small glimpse, because he monologues a little bit, or in his head, of the previous war of XRCon.
Oh yeah, I want to know
Yes.
more about that. Like I don't know
Me
if
too.
it's not just because I don't have prior knowledge or I've read through the 2005 continuity all the way, but I don't even know who XRCon is. Like I don't know who
Neither
this
do
is.
we.
I don't know.
Neither do
Okay,
we.
good,
we
good. I'm
have no
glad.
idea. This is a new character.
Because this character seems like a huge threat, and they either are the threefold spark, or they have something to do with the threefold spark, or are trying to get the threefold spark. So I want to know more about this threefold spark and why Exarchon, if they aren't the threefold spark, why they want the threefold spark.
What's your theories?
I don't think they are the threefold spark because they talk about Exarchon having many iterations, almost like they're able to duplicate themselves, like to infinity or whatever. Or they're able to take over, like, husks their bodies or something. But I really don't know what the threefold spark is.
I'm sure we'll find out. That's for sure. I'm hoping. But I think the Exarchon, instead of duplicating their body, I think they can create empty shells, and then they'll all are linked like a hive mind kind of thing. I think that's kind of what's going there, and like they can give a part of themselves into that body and then control them all at once.
Spooky.
I think it is definitely like a hive mind because we see them talk through 3 separate bots.
3 separate
Right.
yeah.
Right. They carry on the sentence.
Exactly.
So, go ahead.
I think I'm going to rewind just a touch. I loved how they're really making the medical consequences realistic in this. So,
Yes.
like when they're going to that Immersant Titan, Romeo mentions that there has been no spark or mind pattern there for megacycles, but they continue to speak about that they're actually scanning these dormant or basically dead beings for spark and mind function before they do any sort of thing that could harm them if they were, just dormant like a titan or something like that. So I think it's super cool. And they talk about that a few more times, even not in relation to like Immersants, but in relation to titans and even just other bots, like only having, I think she calls it spark residua a little bit later on, as basically being functionally brain dead, if we're using human terms, being brain dead but still having like a heart that is beating, or that you're technically functionally alive even though you're brain dead or you just have spark residua. So I think that's a super cool concept that they're bringing into it, especially from a more medical perspective. I love it. It's fabulous.
Yes.
I think they're definitely building up to, because like this is the start of the war, and I think they're building up terms or phrases that we're going to see a lot more later on. And I think that's slowly the world building process they're establishing.
Oh yeah, and I love when Starscream shows up, how they comment on the fact that he chooses to be loud enough for everybody to hear him coming, so they all have time to like be angry about it. And I think Springer actually makes a comment about he doesn't have to be loud; he can be as quiet as he likes, and I love that. I think it's fabulous. It's so Starscream.
It is so.
It's like those humans I heard that have that weird thing on their vehicles that make it so much louder.
Oh, I
No
know
one
it's
likes
terrible.
it, but
Nobody
they do
likes
it anyway.
I don't know why they do it.
Never understand humans. Speaking of which, unrelated, but bringing us back on track. I really enjoy the prank Flame War pulled on Barricade.
Oh,
telling
yes,
them
that was
her room
great.
was the wrong one, so she could have watched Shadow Striker throw him out. It's hilarious.
I loved it. It was great.
But
Flame
in that,
War's pretty
go ahead.
funny in these issues.
Flame War
Later
top
on,
tier.
they do another thing, and it's hilarious as well.
Yes. Team stream, but we'll get there. Also, can we talk about how Megatron brought 2 of Shockwave's like highest lieutenants as observers, as Megatron beat the crap out of Shockwave as an example of what happens when one disobeys him. And at the end, he's like, "Is there anything else we need to discuss?" They're like, "Nope, we're good."
That was fabulous.
I thought he was gonna kill him. The amount of
too.
like damage he did on him.
I think it's kind of setting a precedent for how much they can do to fellow Cybertronians without killing them. And I'm kind of scared about where that precedent's going, but they're definitely setting a precedent for it.
Well, this is also showing you how ruthless of a gladiator Megatron was, showing you that he hasn't lost his touch. So
yeah, and Megatron even comments on how during his flashback, when he was speaking about Exarchon and everything, how he saw the power of a single will to shape history, and I thought that was super cool. So Megatron is using his abilities and his skills that he has to bend others to the will that is attempting to implement the history that he wants to shape. And I think there's a lot to be said for intent and conviction in this. And I think, especially when you have the skills to back it up, I think that's really cool.
Absolutely.
I loved seeing Slipstream show up. I'm excited.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
I'm so
I
happy.
love Slipstream. I'm always here for another seeker.
I like how in this continuity we're starting off with more female bots. And the other one there was like nothing until phase 3. Like there
Yeah.
was Windblade Chromia and Nautica for phase 2, and then they introduced more. But I like how it's almost 50-50, almost, not quite, but you're getting a lot of the characters here.
They're heavy
Yeah.
hitters too.
Like
They're
even
not like side
absurd. Well, some of them are side characters that are being brought into the light, like Road Rage has
I
been
love
in
her
no
so
media besides
much.
this. Yes, same here. She's my favorite character. I need to get myself like a masterpiece version of that one
Her and Nautica.
someday.
I love them so much.
I love it when they bring characters that were like in one instance and they haven't been seen again, and they bring them back because they do deserve to be like their character to be explored and given more history and stories that that need to be part of it. And I love seeing all that in here because
Oh,
we
yeah,
get Flame War, we
absolutely.
get Road Rage, Nautica, Slipstream, Shadow
I'm here for
Striker,
it. I'm here for it.
Light Bright. I'm
Light Bright was
so
cool.
excited.
Lightbright is fantastic. They got like a little bit of screen time in the original continuity during Combiner Wars, but then they were just kind of in the background for the rest of the series.
Yep.
Like literally just in the background. But they got married to Sparkstalker.
Yeah.
Aw.
Anyway,
It was in the
we're going
Christmas
back on
episode,
track.
right?
But yeah, Christmas episode. Back on track. More Void come down to Cybertron. This could mean trouble. But Megatron is making some new friends, and those with familiar faces. What are our thoughts? Theories ahoy. Choo choo.
I love that Nautica's so mad about the Void, and everybody's like, "What are you talking about? They're just like they're nobodies." And Nautica's like, "Oh, really?" Even I've only seen a couple of them, and we're all. She was like, "I'm afraid we're all about to get an education." I was like, "Ooh, girl."
Yeah, especially that she lied to get some information on what happened to the Void that got killed. So
I don't think she lied. I think she extrapolated
she
facts
told-
that she assumed. She didn't know the facts, so it was her best guess. So it's technically not a lie. It was the information she gave information to the best of the knowledge that she had then, which I think is
Yeah, but-
acceptable in Void community.
No, because she said she even twisted the words on purpose to kind of
yeah.
make it
She's
seem
a
a little bit
genius.
more. Because she made it seem worse than it actually is right now, but it's what it could become if they don't resolve what's going on. And and the Voids, won't like that. They don't like it when they're given false information because they trade knowledge for knowledge, and so given that information and it's been stretched a little bit so that they could achieve what they needed to, then this new one that seems to be more armored up and ready to find whoever killed the other Void is going to cause problems.
I
Yeah,
think
they're
I would
not here
agree.
to play.
I think Nautica will be able to work her magic and kind of smooth that over at least a little bit. I think there's going to be definitely some consequences. I think they're probably going to divert the consequences all onto the Rise and maybe even secure the Void's help in attempting to neutralize the Rise.
Maybe.
shall
I
see, we
think
shall
they
see.
might be they might be a casualty of the war that is about to unfold, I think.
Yeah.
I think they're going to make them all extinct.
Yeah.
I think the Void will also struggle to differentiate like multiple Cybertronium sub-factions
Oh,
since
absolutely.
they don't really have one.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Well, Nautica did say that they do have their own factions. They're not all the same. Like when
That's
I
right,
think it
yeah.
was the previous issue. Yeah, that they like not one speaks for them all. There are rebellion ones. There are different factions. So there is that. Moving us forward, I would like to bring our attention on Team Stream because they're on a mission to make no witnesses and no prisoners. And oh boy, are the deaths brutal in this one. Any favorite
really are.
scenes? Because holy scrap.
I love what's his name?
You know, I'm-
Tracer. I love Tracer, the little helicopter in the back. I love the design. It almost feels like a mini con. I can't really tell the size of them because there's definitely two of the battle masters that were in the siege line.
The racing car
Were
ones.
were they battle masters? Yeah, they actually turned into a gun, but yeah, they were in there, so it's kind of hard to tell. But I love their design and I love the quirkiness of this scene because Flame War is making the team name because it's also Slipstream, and there's another stream, and so it's all Team Stream, and she's trying to like lighten the mood and just make jokes of it, and everybody's like done with it and kind of ignore her.
Gave
So
off
it was
little
pretty
sister
fun.
vibes, I think.
Yeah, it gave off very little sister vibes. I give a lot of credit to what was his name? Head Rush, the little bot who stood
Head
up for them all.
Yeah.
And then, he got a major head rush a little bit later. Hyperdrive.
Yeah, that was the last thing through his mind.
Yep.
Probably off scrap.
Yeah, I was gonna say a bullet, but
I don't know if it was on purpose, but Tracer kills a bot, slashing them down the middle, and I don't know if this is a callback to Pharma killing Ambulon down the middle, but
lengthwise.
Wow.
Tracer almost reminds me of like a more confident Crossamint from the
My
RD&D
gosh.
scene, but it's what he could be.
Yeah.
Feel
But
I think Tracer's
Crossamitt's
cooler,
too
though.
nervous. Oh yeah.
Way too nervous.
So we are teased Vigilum, and to match this Titan's strength, we were introduced to Lodestar with their city speaker,
Love
Lightbright.
the
I
city
really enjoyed the
speaker.
artwork. Really enjoy the artwork in this one. Everything pops. It looks fantastic. But unfortunately, Vigilum was built military grade and Lodestar was not, and their battle does not last long, and the mighty tether on the moon fails. Thoughts? Favorite scenes?
I'm happy Vigilum is back.
Yeah, that was quick.
I heard the name and I'm like, this sounds familiar. I think I know who this is, and so I was excited to see that. I liked getting a little bit more information on how the city speakers work in this continuity, because some of them are at a hub, and then they connect to a specific Titan that is slumbering in the atmosphere, and then there are others that travel with their Titan, and that's kind of how they do the communication. So I thought that was very interesting and cool on the world building of how that works.
Yeah.
Almost feels like the human show Gundam, like they're piloting a bigger
Bigger, yeah.
I thought it was interesting how they illuminated when Lightbright was working with Lodestar, how it's not so much like they're piloting them, it's they're kind of maximizing their capacity, their functional capacity almost. But they're also like the Titans can't communicate with normal Cybertronians. So I thought it was really interesting, especially how with poor Vigilum, how the Risers abducted Skystalker, who was his speaker, and then not only did they get Skystalker to wake Vigilum and then abandon Vigilum, they overloaded his systems with whatever that virus was. So I don't think Vigilum is completely in his right mind, and if he is aware, I think he's probably concerned and worried. Like, where is Skystalker? What are they doing? Like, Skystalker should be with me. They even talk about that in the what do you call it? Titan hub or whatever they're at, the Titan net, I think.
Yeah, Titan communication net, yeah.
And I feel so
Vigilum
bad.
is anything like his previous iteration, which it could be not the case. I think he might be in on it.
But what about Skystalker? Skystalker is clearly not in on it, and that bond between a Titan and their speaker is very intense. And I mean, even if Vigilum is in on it, Skystalker has to feel terrible and probably more than a little
Skystalker's still around.
traumatized. Probably not.
Yeah.
Vigilum's probably fine, but Skystalker's probably not.
Yeah. No,
There's a panel that Lightbright is talking to the Titan. I forgot their name right now.
Lodestar.
What was their name?
Lodestar.
Lodestar, and they're talking to Lodestar, and you can see Lodestar's digital hands on her hands as they're like, "Hey, we're probably gonna go down in this."
I
That was
know.
cool, visualizing like their bond. It was great.
Made
Well
you
done,
feel
artist.
it all the way.
Yep.
In
Amazing
our
work.
next issue, we're introduced to Gage, who has two mentors,
Yo,
RC
baby!
and Greenlight,
Those two
trying to
girls.
decide a way to get off Cybertron before it becomes unsafe. And I love everything about their dynamics.
Me too.
I love everything. Like Gage's, like their new character. They were born probably yesterday.
Like Rubble.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
were
like
born
Rubble.
right after Rubble
They were
was
born
killed.
because
After
they were
Brainstorm's
born
death.
because Brainstorm's death.
Yes, yes, that's right.
Because they were trying to keep up with the population to maintain the same amount. And I really enjoy how like RC plays the Guardian mentor, and then Greenlight's like the I don't want to say fun parent, but that's what they are.
She's like hardcore, and I love it.
Yeah.
I like that we see they're taking like a little class, and we see Lug in the background.
Yeah, in the background.
Yeah, so that was cool. I wonder if that projector is also another bot.
Suspicious.
Another projector bot.
Suspicious.
Oh my gosh.
So eventually RC went full Guardian mode when Gage is shot because the tether comes down, and then there's people trying to steal stuff, and so they're doing whatever it takes. And oh boy, do not ever cross her while she is on her revenge rampage. I mean, I
Clearly.
wouldn't, but
And given 2005, it's kind of like never double cross RC ever in any continuity.
and I like how people are like, was that who I think it was? And they're like, yeah, that was RC. Like, oh, she's kind of like a one-man army.
Yeah, it was great. There's a scene where they're trying to escape because Greenlight is trying to get Gage and RC out with the reversionists, and because there's a ship and tensions are rising and all that, so they want to escape and be alive. They run past Inferno and Red Alert.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And
I was gonna
and
mention
Inferno's
this
like,
too.
wow, they didn't even listen to your authority, man. That's just great. And Red Alert's like, unbelievable, man. Just like, don't do this to me. And I'm like, poor Red Alert. You don't have
No,
to be
get
that
him.
mean, Inferno.
Get him.
This was gonna be one of my
No one
other
respects
one of my
Red
other
Alert.
top quotes of the day, and the actual thing that Inferno says is, "Warms my inners whenever I see your authority so thoroughly respected." Red Alert really does warms them right up, and Red Alert's just like, "I cannot with you." It's so
He
great.
was so mean.
It's so great. I love it.
It's so good. I'm here for it. I want to see more.
I love all the snarky comment. It's beautiful.
Perfect. Peak Transformers content right here.
Absolutely.
The end has Greenlight and Gage sneak into the revisionist ship that is the departing Cybertron, followed by RC, and that about wraps it up for my notes. Is there anything we want to circle back on? Anything we want to point out? Kudos. Take it away.
I thought there was going to be an extra panel after that one because they're all happy. They're like, yeah, we've done it. We got out. Woohoo. And the door closes. And I'm like, okay, the next panel is going to be the ship blowing up. And that's how it's going to
beautiful
end.
art. It's just
And
beautiful art.
and it didn't blow up. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's fine.
You can't kill RC that soon into this.
I'm
Just
sure
trying to
they
keep
weren't.
you
I'm
more.
sure they weren't gonna die, but they were gonna like tease it where like the ship blows up, and then you're like, oh no, what happened? And I'm sure they were gonna come back. There's also another character that we kind of went through that part very quickly, but Javelin is in these issues, and I was so happy when I was reading the panel. There's a panel where Javelin has a sniper, and she's like, hey, I'm ready. I have the shot, and I was like all by myself late at night reading these comics. And I raised my hands and I was like, yes, they're back. And then exactly the panel below, they get shot in the head. I'm like, oh no. So I went from happy to like, what just happened? So
It's
it was
like
great.
that
It was
meme
definitely roller
where it's like
coaster.
that rock music going, yeah! And then the meme goes, no!
It was great. I was like,
Now you know
man,
how I felt when I saw Brainstorm.
Oh no!
Yeah, but I felt like
Yeah.
this so many times in
No.
2005 too.
Oh no!
Man, but I was laughing. I was laughing after it all happened. I was laughing. I was like, this
They're
is great.
not dead. They're not dead.
No, they're
still
not dead,
alive.
but it was
Yeah.
just great that I was so happy, and I just needed to look down a little bit more, and I would have seen them getting shot in the panel, but I just focused on the top one.
Right. The excitement took over.
Yeah, it was great. I loved it.
Anything you want to circle back on Clickbait?
No, I don't think so. I think I kind of jumped in whenever I had something that I had a comment on or anything.
Perfect.
I mean, I loved the art, and I'm
The art was fabulous.
a sucker for world building and lore and character building, so I'm having a blast right now. I love all the flashbacks. I love the interactions between the characters. I love the super intricate, like interplanetary, multicultural issues that are happening here. I love the xenobiology. I love the medical aspect of it. I think it's fabulous. It's
Why don't you
slow,
lead us into
but it's
Rodstar's then?
fabulous. You know, these 6 issues, we saw a lot. There was a ton that had actual considerations to like consequence and everything. Personally, these 6 issues, I'm gonna give a 5 out of 5. I was very impressed.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I'm also gonna give it a 5 out of 5. I think these were combined with art, the story work, the world building, the character reflections throughout the series here that we're seeing so far, like the Megatron just not putting up with it. Like that is pure Megatron there, just beating the
Oh yeah.
scrap out of Shockwave. Megatron talking with who's the leader of the revisionists? He's a phase sixer in the 2005 continuity. We don't get a name, or we don't get a face to him before, but we
Don't
get a
know.
name. Can't remember him. He's the one that has like the Matrix symbol on his forehead.
Oh.
Anyway,
Heretic,
Airtech,
right?
yeah.
yeah,
Heretic.
Heretic. Yep. So like he's making deals left and right, and he's making friends, and this was like slowly we're seeing Starscream to his fullest. Like he's just full of
He's
himself
being a
the whole time.
Starscream.
And he shows up to Megatron. He's like, I bet on both parties. That is so Starscream. Anyway, 5 out of 5 for me. What about you, Kilo?
Well, listeners, I know I've given 5 out of 5 so far, and you must be like, Kilo's just gonna give it 5 out of 5 again.
Gotta go against the
And-
grain.
And
Don't you do it.
You're correct. I'm gonna give it 5 out of 5 again because I'm having a blast with all these. I know I've been giving 5 out of 5
Blah,
left
blah,
to
blah,
right
blah.
to all of them. The thing is,
Wow.
like, I love the setting they're building. This is I feel like it's something different we haven't seen in Transformers. Like, we're on their home planet. It's right before the war, but we still get to see their day-to-day lives and how things are like going around, and we're seeing things escalate, yes, but we also get to see glimpses of other things where it's like normal life. It's not all about fighting and killing other bots. And I'm having a good time. Like I'm laughing, I'm crying, and the art is amazing, and all the characters are great, and the interactions and like the different callbacks. So 5 out of 5.
I would agree. Did
Well
agree already.
done. Well, listeners, what did you think of these comics? How many rod stars would you give it? Let us know by leaving a comment below. Now, we don't have any emails for you today, but we do have some fun and exciting
Roll, please.
events that we have coming up. Yeah, drum roll, please. We're going to have some more voice actors on the D&D spin-off, Transform and Roll Out. So stay tuned. We are most likely we will be having. We just need to find a date. More Q&As with voice actors. I know we have some in the past that we've done with Travis Arts. We're gonna have some more with Earthspark characters, with the Netflix series characters as well, all over the board. So get ready for that. But if you would like to get in contact with us, you can send us an email at swervebarpodcast@gmail.com. That is SWERVESBAR podcast@gmail.com. Now, do any of you have any fun toys or new items or something you want to do bragging about?
Well, I just got this lovely figure in the mail today, actually, on this date of recording. And it is
It's a nice box.
no, the box is thrashed. I don't know what they
What would
did,
you
but
expect with interplanetary shipping?
they played intergalactic soccer with that bad boy. But anyways, I'm now the proud owner of the APC Toys Night Countess, or Arachnid from Transformers Prime, and she's beautiful. I love her. I can't wait to find a spot for her on my shelf with my APC Toys Dark Master Megatron and my APC Toys Demonic Whisper Soundwave. So I'm very excited.
They're gonna look great.
They're gonna look beautiful. I just need the Optimus now.
Yes. We need some pictures.
Oh my gosh, absolutely.
Killobyte. How about you?
Oh, I don't think I've gotten anything new recent, but I am excited because Hasbro announced the Armada Megatron and Armada Optimus Prime. So I have my pre-orders, and I'm excited to get those. I did that, at least for Megatron. Still waiting for the Optimus to pop up, but they're in. Once they get here, I will talk about more of those toys.
Can't wait for that Nemesis.
Wonderful.
Nemesis from Armada?
No, the just the one they revealed, the
Oh,
Generations
the
Titan,
Titan? Yeah, that's gonna be
I'm
great.
excited
Oh
for
my
that one. That
gosh,
would
she
be
looks
fun.
beautiful.
She does.
Or Lady
We
Power
just
in
got
my
to see the
collection.
prototype pictures. I'd like to see the full purple one, but I'm biased. I also don't think I have anything else new. I did get the Grimlock IDW volume, so that's cool. The physical hard,
Oh, cool.
hard. Is that what hard
Our
book?
book cover? Yes.
Hard. Okay, the humans call things
Cover,
weird.
yeah. Oh, and I got my Skyquake in the mail.
Ooh, nice.
My Legacy
Nice,
Evolution
nice, nice.
Skyquake. Oh, he's gorgeous too.
Nice. I gotta get one myself.
Clickbait. Are you ready? You want to talk about Redbubble?
I do. So, to all of our intergalactic listeners, the humans introduced us to this really cool thing. It's on the, what do they say it? Interweb, web network.
Yeah, it's something Tarantulas runs. I hear. Killobyte has been trying to tell me it's on a stream of water.
A web.
It's the World Wide Web.
A web. Yeah. See, it is Tarantulas. I knew it. He's got his hands in everything.
Exactly.
Anyways, as much as I don't condone using Tarantulas' things, he does have some useful. He does have use sometimes.
He's pretty
He
nice.
can be nice. It depends on what universe you catch him in. Anyways, we were introduced to this cool web site. It is called Redbubble, and so on that you can find some merchandise of various things that we have had done for us. It is super cool. You can get the humans wear them. You can get clothes, I think they're called. You can also get stickers and buttons. I love buttons. They do lots of fun things. And you can get all manner of cool things on our Redbubble with various designs. We have more coming. So if you want to support Swerve's Bar and keep the lights on, Swerve does get most of the cut, but we're not going to talk about that. Just go on over to our Redbubble.
It's like 99.9%.
And check it out. I said we weren't going to talk about it.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna. Okay, fine. I will buy my own sweatpants. I'm gonna wear them with the tag facing forward. Do they come with? Do they come in my size? Do they come in robot size? And do I get ones with 4 legs, or do I need to buy 2?
You'd have to buy 2. It's better for the.
And the tag goes on the inside.
Yeah, the tag goes on the
tag
inside.
goes on the inside
and in the back, not
Yeah.
the front.
That doesn't seem right. That doesn't seem right.
That's what I see in
I
pictures.
think, yeah.
Oh, some human told me to wear it that direction.
You can't trust all humans. Some humans are pranksters. You got to be careful.
That's fair. All right, moving us along. Are you ready for Transformers Volume 3, issues 19 through 24?
Absolutely.
I am so ready.
I'm excited. Killobyte, do you mind taking us out?
Will do. If you've enjoyed this episode, consider sharing it with your friends and subscribing. If you want to help out the show even further, we have started a Patreon. All of the proceeds will go to supporting the show and keeping the lights on. Of course, we have some tiers that offer other forms of gratitude, such as 3D files and entry to our Discord channel. You'll even get early access to our comic review videos a week before they're publicly released, and also our D&D episodes. We have a goal to reach 500 subscribers. We'll be holding a brand new kind of giveaway we've never done before, so click that subscribe button and tell your friends it's a good time. And as always, we hope you're all staying safe out there. Thank you so much for listening to All Our One.
All are one.
Till all are one.
Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Swerve Podcast, and even on Tumblr. Yes, with everything going on Twitter, we figured we should cover our bases. Speaking of which, you can also find us on Twitter at Swerve's Bar, if that's still a thing. If you're interested in more content, try checking out our spin-off D&D series, Transform and Roll Out. Season 3, titled Eons, is now available. Let's tune in to a preview now.
There's a lot of bots in here with sparks. Even as somebody who eats other bots, I think that's pretty screwed up, and we probably shouldn't do that.
I haven't gotten your name. What is your name?
Oh, hi, my name's Smolder. I give you a four-armed wave.
Nice to meet you. I give you 2-arm wave.
Well, our whole goal, okay, you see, is to take the Silver Matrix and destroy it.
Destroy the Silver Matrix.
Yeah.
Okay,
real simple, easy stuff, right? Well, he
never know.
is hurt, though. I'm not sure if he's...
We could take him to a secondary location.
But he's starting to rust.
Never go to the secondary location.
I'm so glad you got that, Onyx.
Smolder, we don't have to kill Primus.
With that, it is now Mantix's turn.
Instant regret By the way, instant regret. This is hard. This is hard, guys.
Well, that was certainly something. There is also a YouTube channel with bonus content, such as video games containing funny comments and trendy shorts. A link will be provided below. And if you're so inclined, you can support us on Patreon, where you can get even more bonus content, such as reading files, access to their Discord, and listen to the content before it's released to the public. More links will be provided below. End transmission.